question is, from developing the game, we've talked a lot about community, very little about actual game and what's being played, and the reasons for playing that game, things like the story. When you were developing this, was this primarily about, hey, let's build a cool community, and this game will be something for that community to do, as kind of that portal to the community? Did it kind of start that way?
Actually, very much the inverse, and it's a good point. I mean, the community thing, as much as it was important, kind of the subject of this talk, came afterwards. I mean, we didn't even initially think of this game as a cross-platform game, or even necessarily very much an online game. I mean, it was intended to be a really great co-op game, and I couldn't care initially very much about whether that was being played in split screen or being played online or on an Xbox or on a PC. Kind of the whole cross-platform thing just came as a result of, hey, this is really fun on different platforms, so let's get it out there and get it to people. And then, oh wow, a lot of people are downloading the game. We kind of need to spend some time to make sure that they're getting a good experience with other users in our forum, and we're supporting them properly. But certainly initially, it's just, we have an idea for mixing tower defense and role-playing and making that kind of team-oriented gameplay experience. And we prototyped it on the UDK, in fact. So, initially it began with a gameplay prototype that was made just by me, by one person. and that proved fun. And then we expanded that a little bit and said, let's do something commercial with this, and widen the design scope a little bit. And when that proved fun, we said, all right, let's try and get it approved for consoles. And when that seemed to take forever, we said, all right, let's get it on mobile. And all these things worked out as a matter of process, but they weren't all there from the beginning. It starts with a fun game, and I would like to say it has to start there.
Yeah, and I would say, at least for mobile, that's one of the real benefits we've seen is most mobile games, at least mobile RPGs and stuff, don't have the strongest mechanics, because that's not what you focus on when you make a mobile game. You focus on community, you focus on a whole bunch of other things. But we had focused on mechanics for the console version, which means that's what mobile gamers got, is mechanics, and they like it. So.
The truth is, the game isn't monetized to the extent that you might find many mobile games to be. The game isn't designed as a way to take your money basically and empty your wallet. It's designed to be fun and provide as much value as we could to the consumer in for the least amount of cost to that consumer possible. And that may have hurt our pocketbooks a little bit when we gave so much content out. But it is a really fun game, and we're happy to provide that to our gamers. I mean, at the end of the day, what we like to do is we like to go on our forums and see happy gamers chatting away about playing Dungeon Defender. So.
Yeah, and I can expand on that just a little bit. The mobile game is about 600 megabytes. It probably contains more content than the top 50 mobile games together. So we get a lot of users who go, oh my god, this is a $60 game on my mobile device. I'm going to buy it on console to support you guys.
A small anecdote, small aside. When we first released the Android game, we were serving all of that 600 megabytes off our own servers. It nearly bankrupted us to serve that much data to end users until we found a more efficient method to do it.
So, in retrospect now, had this game turned into a huge community, and now maybe you're looking at it, okay, community, the reward from this is now more stats than it is necessarily the game, and maybe you could mirror that to, say, Call of Duty, where there's a single player where you're going through a story, or multiplayer where the end of the game is really, are my stats better than other people? It's kind of two different things. Let's say the multiplayer aspect, like this, let's say this is World of Warcraft going to the next step. How do you think that will affect games like Final Fantasy? They're primarily very story, very personal experience throughout that. How do you think that aspect will apply to that, or do you think those will kind of bridge off into two different genres?
I think Demon's Souls does it great. I mean, you can have multiplayer features in a single player game. I think all games are going to have social features very soon.
I mean, just to give our perspective on it, stats are important, and sure, there's a treadmill that people sometimes, obviously run when they're on that. But, multiplayer, I think we've seen over the years, is a rewarding experience in and of itself because it is so social in real time. It's not social in the asynchronous nature that people usually talk about when they talk about social games. Playing with other people in real time is fun. regardless of whether or not you're tracking your stats. The stats are an amplifier on that. They're like a force multiplier that definitely contribute to that, but having the ability to jump in with your buddies and play through a mission at the same time is what we have always been excited about. So I think that's the end of our session. I know there's another session after us. We want to make sure we give them time to set up and everything, but if people have questions, like I said, we're here. You can come up and talk to us, or we'll be at the show for the next 2 days. So please don't hesitate to come talk to us.